Hey there, everyone. Today I'm going to share with you the pros and the cons of living in Tennessee. And this is an updated version for 2024. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Nashville, Tennessee channel. If you're looking to learn everything about what it's like living here, eating here, sleeping here, even playing here in the Nashville area, especially in the great state of Tennessee, then click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. Lately, I've been getting a ton of people that are calling me, texting me, emailing me about what it's like living in Tennessee from someone who's not from Tennessee. So if that's you, please reach out to me. So, on to our pros and the cons. Pro number one of living in Tennessee is going to be no state income tax. This I'm going to start with because it's one of the biggest reasons that you probably are looking at moving to Tennessee, unless you're moving from another state that doesn't have state income taxes. But this was one of our biggest, coolest things about actually moving from Southern California to Nashville. We got a huge raise. And that helped us, have extra money and everything else. So that's why that's pro number one. Con number one of living in Tennessee is going to be your natural disasters. And Tennessee is prone to a bunch of different natural disasters, such as tornadoes, floods. They had the Great Flood of 2010, where they redid all the FEMA flood zone maps, and earthquakes as well. However, I haven't heard of any earthquake ever happening that's been of any decent size. If you have, you could comment below when that was or where that earthquake was at. But those can pose risks to residents and to property as well. Tornadoes you can protect yourself from by having a tornado shelter. There are a few different ones that you can get. The in-ground one is typically in the garage or the backyard, and those are the cheapest ways to do it, where they just dig it up and put it in place. They have a box that you'll put in the garage. Um, that's what's going to be the cheapest one, is the box in the garage. The underground in the garage is going to be the second one, or underground in the backyard. And then the third way, which is the coolest way, and that would be having it added to your master bedroom closet, either when you build the home, or potentially, depending upon what it's like, you might be able to do it after. But it's going to be cheaper to do it for sure when you're building your home. And we've had a client do that, and that was super, super cool. So just know that there's a few different ways that you can do it, and you can protect yourself that way. The other things that seem to happen would be like some thunderstorms, and then you get the lightning storms, and so the lightning can cause some sort of fires or whatnot. Pro number two of living in Tennessee is also con number two, and that's going to be your weather. And so during the summertime, it is hot, it is humid. So hopefully you like the humidity. If you don't, like I don't like, humidity is I guess, my least favorite thing as far as the weather goes, other than it being really, really cold. But the summers are hot and humid. You'll get a week, two, three, where it feels like it's amazing. It'll be like 85 degrees and it won't be humid at all. And you'll just wonder why it can't be like that all the time. Well, it can't, or else everybody would live in Tennessee. But uh, fall time, it's really nice. It's not humid anymore. The bugs disappear. So your mosquitoes and other creepy crawlers that you deal with during the summer and springtime are gone. So that's super cool about the fall. Also, typically in mid Octoberish, you don't have to mow your yard or do yard work anymore because the stuff stops growing. So that's super cool. And then it doesn't start growing again until springtime ish. So somewhere around April, you'll have to start mowing your yard or having it paid to have it done. But that's cool. Winter, we don't really have really, really cold winter. And I think that's what is drawing a lot of people to Tennessee, is going to be that we have pretty mild winters. We do have a week or two or three where it'll be 20, 30 degrees, but most of the time it's going to be in your 40s. And then we also have 60, 70, 80 degree weather during the winter time as well that you get to enjoy. So winter is not really a big deal. Summertime is the worst time of year, of course, with the humidity, unless you like that. Con number three is going to be your traffic, which is pretty bad around Memphis and Nashville. It's getting worse in the Knoxville area and Chattanooga areas as more and more people move there, but just know that it's going to get worse as more and more people relocate to Tennessee. They are having traffic in areas where they've never had traffic before, and that's just we are not keeping up with the amount of people, amount of cars on the road. They're just not building roads wide enough or bigger roads. For example, Interstate 40 that kind of runs all the way through the middle of the state. So you would start out in Knoxville and then to Nashville. Well, they really should be 3 lanes the whole way, all the way across. It'd be super awesome if they would just spend the money, get that done. And then if they put an elevated train down the middle of it, the high speed train, so you there's no reasons why we don't do that in Tennessee. Put some sort of train that you could get from say Nashville to Memphis in under an hour and the same way out to Knoxville. So you could literally get all the way across the state in maybe an hour or two of being on a high speed train. That would make it really, really nice. Pro number 3 of living in Tennessee is the quality music in the state of Tennessee. We have some of the best country music stars anywhere out there, even though I'm not a big country fan. However, my wife and daughter are both big country fans, so they really, really like it. But country music is huge in the Nashville area. It's also big in Memphis and Knoxville. Just country music itself is part of Tennessee. Pro number 4 is also con number 4, and that's Tennessee is a conservative state. It's very red. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Please know that I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that Tennessee is conservative. I'm just saying that it is conservative, and if you aren't super conservative, then you may not like that. So the big 3 cities are pretty blue, so you're going to get your what fix you need for that if you live in one of the 3 big cities. Well, actually, Chattanooga. So maybe Chattanooga would be the 4th. But just know that this could be a con for you, but most likely it's going to be a pro if you're thinking about moving to Tennessee. Con number 5 is Tennessee has terrible public transportation. Really, nowhere in the state has any sort of light rail or train. However, they do have one in Nashville that just heads to a town that not a lot of people live in, but you could take the train there. But we really need to spend some money in the state of Tennessee on public transportation so people can get around quicker without having to use cars or airplanes to get around. It'd be really, really nice if we could have what some other cities have, some sort of subway or above ground type of subway, like a light rail, for instance. They could run it down the different interstates. We don't seem to have a big earthquake problem. So the biggest issue might be tornadoes that they would have to deal with. But I don't know if I've heard of tornadoes going across our interstates. So maybe they could just run it down the middle of the interstates. It would be relatively inexpensive, I would think, to do that. But that's something that we really need. You're going to have buses that you can get around, or Uber, Lyft, or some ride shares, or you can always rely on Old Faithful, which is the Heel Toe Express to get around. Pro number 5 is the Southern charm, Southern hospitality that Tennessee is known for. It's warm hospitality, friendly locals. Typically, locals are welcoming to newcomers. However, you're going to find if you read some of the comments that they aren't very welcome. They want everyone to stay away. They don't want people moving to the state of Tennessee. And since most people, pretty much everybody in Tennessee uh, not was actually a newcomer at some point to the state of Tennessee, they should be welcoming, and most people are. Um, for example, when we first moved to Franklin, which is near Nashville, I would get stopped when I was at the grocery store. For whatever reason, we would always be out of either butter or milk, and I would have to go get it. So I'd be stopped by somebody, and 45 minutes later, I'd still be talking to that person. However, the biggest question I would typically get asked is what church I go to. That's where they would start. That doesn't seem to happen much at all anymore. I don't know if it's due to people knowing that I'm a local now to the Nashville area because, after 10 years of living in the state, you are now considered a local, if you didn't know that. But I don't know if it's just that there's so many people that have relocated to Tennessee, so they don't ask. Who knows? Comment below if you know why people don't get or don't ask that much anymore, love to hear about that. Pro number six of living in Tennessee is the quality healthcare in the state. So if you need to have a good healthcare provider, Tennessee could be a great state for you, depending upon which area you're moving to in the state of Tennessee. But just know you have great healthcare options like Vanderbilt is in Nashville, for instance. Pro number seven of living in Tennessee is going to be if you're pro gun, you're going to absolutely love it. If you're a gun owner or you want to own guns or you want to buy guns, it's a big pro for living in Tennessee. Pro number eight, this one surprised us when we moved to Tennessee, and that's the great food options. There's really was surprising to us from Mexican food to great steaks. We have really good food in the state of Tennessee. The only food that I can't really find is a good Italian food place. Like I wouldn't consider Olive Garden or Carrabba's good at all, but that's pretty much what I found to be the best, and that's not even anything special. So if you know of something, drop it in the comments below. Share what your favorite restaurant is as well. So these are my updated pros and cons of living in Tennessee. And if you'd like more information about living in Tennessee or making that move anywhere in the state, please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Until next time, I'm out.